Hello everyone, my name is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel, Take Journey with Ankit. Today's video is another LWC coding interview scenario that has been asked in one of the interview. In this video, we will go over the scenario and also try to implement that scenario as well. So let's get started by going over the scenario. But before that, in case you folks like to have one-to-one connect with me, you folks can do that on the top mat, for which you will get the link in the video description. If you navigate to the top mat, basically you will be landed upon this page where there will be two options. First option is to have one-to-one connect with me, where you can have your Salesforce queries, any career support or the learning support guidance that you folks are looking for. We can have the discussion around it. Moreover, there are few digital products also available on this top mat, like the cloud consultant guide or the bootcamp guide, right? Or the admin guide or the interview prep guide. Everything will be available here. Along with the bootcamp guide, you will get the code base that we have developed in the LWC Bootcamp. And also along with the interview prep guide, you will get more than 350 plus interview questions with the detailed answers. And not only that, whatever the code that we are building in this series, so today is the 10th video on the LWC coding interview series, you will get the code base for all those questions as well. Not only that, whatever the code that we are building today will also be available along with the interview prep guide too. So you guys can go and utilize these notes to prepare yourself quickly for the interview. Not only that, in case you folks like to connect with a wider group, you guys can also join the Telegram channel as well, where the like-minded people do discuss the Salesforce queries in their journey. So this is the scenario for today. The scenario says that there is a sales team, and let me go over the scenario very slowly. Right, there's a sales team and account manager. What they are asking here for the centralized interactive dashboard to view and manage the key information related to the accounts in the Salesforce. So basically here they are looking for one dashboard in the form of table where they can go and manage all the information related to the account, right? The current process is they have to navigate to the different records of the account to check how many contacts, cases, and opportunities are available and which is time consuming. So they want your solution should solve the below problems. It should provide a sortable view of the account, displaying the essential information like the name, industry, rating, and also the count of related contacts, cases, as well as the opportunity. This is the first ask from your dashboard. Another ask here is it should enable the user to quickly create the related records as well directly from the dashboard. So they don't want to navigate anywhere else. From the dashboard only, they want to go and create the contact cases as well as the opportunity, right? And the final thing here is as soon as the record has been created, they want their dashboard should be updated to show the up-to-date information. So these are the three asks that we have to take care in our component. So by the end of this video, we will be preparing the dashboard, which will look something like this, which will have all these columns, right? Where the account name, we will make it as a hyperlink so that user can click on navigate to that particular account. We will add the few other columns like the industry and the rating from the account. Moreover, we will also be adding the few summary columns as well to show the count of contact cases as well as the opportunity. Not only that, we will be adding here the quick actions to add the contact cases as well as the opportunity on the account. In this video, you will be learning lots of things like how to use the wrapper class, how you can dynamically create the modal, how you can create the reusable component so that you can create the contact cases as well as the opportunity using the one single component. Moreover, you will also understand how to use the row level action and few more stuff in this video. Now, without further delay, we can get started building this component as well. So let me navigate here and I will be creating the component, creating a lightning web component and naming that component here as the account dashboard information. And also I will be creating the Apex file as well because I have to go and get the data. So what I will do, I will be creating the one Apex class and naming that Apex class as a controller. So this is my controller where I will be getting the accounts with the summary information. So to do that, here I will be creating one method public static. As of now, I am returning void. I will come back to the return point one more time. And here I am getting the accounts with related counts. Right? So what I need to do, I have to go and get all the accounts here. So to do that, here I will be putting the list of accounts is equal to select ID, comma, they're asking me to get the account name, industry, and the rating from account. Not only that, I have to also get the related information as well, because I need to count the contacts, cases, as well as the opportunity. So here I will be writing down the parent to child relationship query, that is select ID from contacts, where the contacts is the child relationship name, right? And same thing I will do it for the select ID from cases. And the last thing here is the select ID from opportunity. Right? So I have prepared my query to go and get this related information, and I am storing it into the one of the variable that is the account list. Let me go and break it down so that you guys can easily see. Right? And I'm getting all this information from the account object. Let me go and sort this out order by uh, order by name. Okay, so that all the accounts that we will be displaying by default, it will be sorted by the account name. Now, the next thing that I have to do here is, let me go and tab this out. Okay, now the next thing that I have to do here is I have to go and return this columns along with the count of it. So to do that, I will be creating one wrapper class here. So here I will be creating the public class and naming that as an account wrapper. Now in that class, I will be defining the different properties to return the information. So all the properties needs to be accessible from the Lightning Web Component. So I need to make sure that all these properties are the Aura enabled properties. And here, let's say the first thing that I want to return here is the account ID. So here I will put in the account ID. Similarly, I'll be returning the account name, account industry, as well as the account rating. I'll be adding the few more columns here because I have to return the contact count as case count as well as the opportunity count. Not only that, even if you have seen the solution, I want the first column, it should be available in the form of the link. So what I will do here is, again, you can add anywhere, but let me go and put up here, or enabled public string, and I'm naming this here as the account link, because here I have to go and populate the link for an account. Populating the account link, it's very simple. In case you folks have followed my past videos, you already know how you can go and populate the link for the record. Now the next thing here is what I will do, coming back to my first method one more time. I will be iterating over the account. Here I go and click for account colon account list. Here I will be populating the instance of the wrapper, right? So here I will be creating the instance of the wrapper, account wrapper, ACC wrap is equal to new wrap. And what I am doing now here is I will be populating one column at a time. So ACC wrap dot, very first thing that I am populating here is the account ID, which will come up from the ACC dot ID. From my current instance, I'll be populating the account ID. Like this, I'll be populating here the account name, account industry, and the account rating. Now, one more thing that I need to go and populate is now here is the account link. So here I will be putting the ACC wrap dot account link. How to populate the account link? It's very simple. What you have to do here is you have to put a quote. Inside the quote, you have to put the slash and then append this with the ID. Right? It will automatically help you to navigate to that particular ID as well. Now, moving to the next part, what I need to do here is I have to go and populate the count as well. So here I'll be putting ACC wrap dot contact count. How I can populate the counts now? I need to get the first instance ACC. After that, here for the contacts, it is nothing but the list of records, right? And from the list of records, I'll be getting the size. In case it is confusing, let me also try to break it down. What it will return if I have to go and access the contact. Let me go and put up here con list, right? And here you can see that accessing the contacts. Because definitely, if you know how the parent to child relationship query works, it will return more than one record. And to access more than one record, you have to use the collection. And from the collection, what you can do, you can go and access the size. Because to know how many records are available in the collection, we usually use the dot size method. This is how you can go and access the size. I hope you folks got the clarity. Same thing, you have to do it for the case count, but I'm doing it directly because I hope you folks understood how these things works to get the size. And finally, the last thing that I am doing here is I am also getting the opportunity count as well. Right? But again, this is only one record. There can be multiple records which are available. So what I will do here is, here I will go and create the list of account wrapper. And here I'm going to account wrap list is equal to new list of account wrapper. Right? Because we have to return more than one record, I will be storing this result into the collection. I will be storing this into the collection. And so once everything has been done, I have to go and return this wrapper list. So to return this in the form of wrapper, my return type, it should not be void. It should be the list of account wrapper, because I have to return these complete wrapper records. And finally, what I will do here is, here I will go and return the wrapper list. One thing I missed to do, this method is supposed to be called from the Lightning Web component. To do that, I should go and make it Aura enabled. And also, I will be calling this method with the help of wire decorator. So I will be putting up here the cacheable equal to true as well. This is how my Apex class will look like, which will help me to get all the related information as well. Let me go and deploy this. It's very simple. I have not done anything complex here. I'm simply making one query and populating the data in the form of wrapper and returning it as well. Now, the next thing that I will do, I will go and import this method. So here I go and put import. This is the method that I have to go and import right from my Apex class. And I will be making the call to this method using the wire decorator. So here I'll be putting the wire. Right? And after that, what I will do here is I will go and make the call to this method and store the result in the form of product. Now, the next thing that I will do, I have to go and load this table on the UI. So navigating to the HTML file. Let me go here. Navigate to the HTML file, putting a lightning card, putting the title here as an account dashboard with related counts. Right, and here I will be adding some padding, the class SLDS, where the around small. And here to display the data in the form of table, I will be using the lightning data table. In case you don't know how to use the lightning data table, even I can't remember the syntax all the time. So it's better to navigate to the component library. And here you should go and look for the data table. Let's copy this data table. Coming back here and pasting it. Right? Let me go and do a quick formatting. Format document. Format document with HTML, and this is formatted. Now, in my scenario, I don't want to, or let's put the height as the 500 pixel. It's not mandatory to put the height. You can always adjust. Right? Now, the next thing here is, what is the key field? The data that we are loading in our table, the key field using which each row will be identified, it is nothing but the account ID. So what I will do here I am saying that the key is the account ID. Now the data, where the data is available, the data is available in the accounts. So I hope you know that, in case you folks have followed the bootcamp, whenever we use the wire decorator, the data will be available in accounts.data, and in case of error, what will be populating here is the accounts dot error. Right? So same thing we will be using here as well. The very first check that I will do whether the data is available or we do have the error. So to check that, here I will be using the LWC if and putting the accounts dot data to check if the data is available. In case the answer is yes, then and then only we go and load the table. If the data is not available, then we will put the error message template LWC else. Let me put up here else if, right? And here I'll put in the accounts dot error, right? And in case of error, I'll be putting up the error message fail to load. Now, coming to the data one more time, as I said, the data is something which is available in the accounts dot data. So let me go here and put the accounts dot data. Now coming to the column structure. So how to design the column structure? For that, again, I'm navigating to the documentation, and this is the syntax that we can use to define how the column structure should be available, right? So coming back here to our JavaScript file, and here I am putting the columns. Whatever the columns that we are getting, we will be go and display that columns here. So here I go and put the UL view and columns is equal to whatever the columns that we do have, I will be displaying it. Why I am doing this? Because you cannot refer the const variable on the HTML end. On HTML, you can only refer the properties. So that's why here I am defining the properties and populating this const variable. Now, moving to the columns that I want to display. In case of column, what you have to decide here is the label is something that you can put anything, but the field name, it should always come based on what kind of data that you are returning. So always be very careful whenever you are designing the columns here. Label, it's very much straightforward. As I said, you can go and give any name. So like here, I am giving the label name as an account name. Second one, I am giving here as the industry. Third one, I am giving here as the rating. You can put any name. It's completely up to you. After that, the next one that I am putting up here is the contact count. Opportunity count. And the last one that I want here is the cases count. Right? Now, let's start from the bottom. Cases count, what is the variable that you have defined? The variable name that you have defined here is the case count. So make sure that should be your field name. And the type for the integer for the data table, it's always the number, right? You can always go and check the documentation. As I already know, it's number. That's why I'm directly putting up here. But here, if you go and search for the number, you will get the idea, right? For string numbers and all those things, you should go and use the data type here as the display the number, right? Whenever you have to go and display the number, you can go and use the data type as the number, right? Same thing we will do it for the opportunity count. So this is my opportunity count. Navigating here one more time. So putting the opportunity count and putting the type here as the number. So third one is the contact count. So here I go and navigate to the contact count and putting up here as the contact count, and this one also I am putting here as the number. For the rating, we do have the rating available in the account rating. So here I go and use the account rating, and by default, in case you have to go and put any string, you can always go and put the type as the text. Same next thing, here also you can go and put the type as the text, and industry, you can go and use the account industry. Till here it was very much straightforward. But the first one that we have to display in the output, it should be coming up in the form of the link, right? So to come up in the form of the link, what is the field name that we have defined? The field name that we have put up here is the account link. So here I go and put the field name as the account link. So, but what is the content that we have in the account link? We have the ID. but what we want, it should actually display on the UI, right? Typically, when you see any URL, right, we generally go and put the hyperlink in the URL. So on the click, we will be navigated at somewhere else, but at the back end, there should be some other link. Similar kind of a functionality we have to go and put up here on the column structure as well. So that's why here I'm saying that you have to use this as the field name, but while displaying it on the UI, right? And here I'll be putting the type is equal to, because this should be the URL, I am putting up here type as the URL. But what I'm saying here is when you have to go and display it on the UI, right, you should go and show some other field name. So whenever you have to go and define the attributes, right, at the table, basically what you should use here is the type attribute. So here I'll be using the type attributes. Type attributes, right? What all type attributes that I have to go and populate? The very first thing that I'll be populating here is the label. In the label, I am saying that the label is something that should come up from the field name, and the field name that we have put here for the label here is the account name. Navigating here and putting up here the account name. That should be my label. What is the next thing? On clicking, whether it should open up in the same record or it should open up in a different tab, that's what you have to go and decide. So there can be two options here. Here I'm saying that target here should be the blank so that it should open up in a new tab. This is how I am adding the different type attributes as well, right? Another thing, if you go to the problem statement, what they have also asked here is all the columns here should be sortable as well. So to make it sortable, what you have to do here is you have to add one more attribute here, and that is the, if I'm not wrong, sortable is the attribute name. Yeah. This is the attribute that you should be adding, right? So that all your columns will be sortable as well. So let me go, and you can put anywhere because it's an object at the end of the day, right? But make sure that you are putting it at the column level. Now we have made all our columns sortable. So we have done most of our part as of now, except showing these three actions. So my first part is completed. Let's go and deploy and check whether it is coming up as expected or not. So to do this, I am exposing my component, defining the targets here and putting the target as, let me put the target here as an app page and deploy this component as well. Now we will go and add this component on our org. So this is the component that we have developed in the last video. As I said, you can download the code base for this from the top mat. But as of now, we have created another component with the name of account dashboard information, no base file for markup. We are getting some error. Okay, now the component is deployed successfully. I'm not sure what was the issue, but after redeployment, it worked well. Now let's navigate here, refresh the component list, and add the component with the name of account dashboard information. So here I go and search for that component. Let me go and add that component here. Click on save. Navigating back. You guys can see that the component is populating where the first column is the link of the record. If I go and click on this link, it is opening up the record in the separate tab as well. So that part is also working. Moreover, it is also showing the count of the records as well. Now moving to the next activity that we have to work on, where we're supposed to go and add the row level actions as well, where we have to go and put the three actions using which user can go and create the contacts, opportunities, as well as the cases. So to do this, the very first thing that we have to do, it is on the HTML file. And let me navigate here. Right on the HTML file, there are a few attributes that needs to be added. So very first attribute that I am adding here is, again, if I show you the output, Here I don't want to show this checkbox. So let me go and first hide this checkbox. Hide the checkbox column, and here I am saying that it should be true. Next thing here is I should go and show the row number column as well. So here I am putting the show row number column as true. So instead of the checkbox, I want to go and show the row number. And the final thing that I want to do here is I want the action should be available to go and create the record. To do that, I should go and use another event, that is the on row action. And here I am putting the method name for this, that is the handle row action. Again, if you don't know the action name or anything, you can always come back to the documentation and search here for that action name. How to use that action name, right? What is the syntax for using that action name? Everything will be available in the documentation. So again, I am following the documentation because I have to show the action at the row level. So very first thing that I will be doing here is I will be adding the actions. What all different actions should be available? That's what I will be adding on my component. So let's navigate here, navigate to the JavaScript file and creating another column that is for the action. Now let me do this here because I have to use this action in the another one. So let me go on the top. What all the actions should be available? The very first action that I will be putting up here is the create contact. And the name is something that you should be giving the unique, because using the name only you will be identifying user have hit which action. So here I am giving the name as the create contact. Another action that I am putting up here is the create case. And the name that I am putting up here is the create case. And finally, I will be adding up the last action, that is the create opportunity. So these are the three actions that should be available. Now, once that part has been done, again, if you navigate to the documentation, you are supposed to go and add one column here to go and display the action. So here I am saying that this should be my column, and navigating here and adding that column at the end, because at the end I want the action should be available where it should go and refer the row actions that we have defined, right? And I don't want to set any alignment. I want the default alignment should come. So let me go and take out the alignment from here. As simple as this, right? We are simply putting up the what all the actions should be available for the action, right? So action is one of the type, right, using which the actions will be available, right? Navigating to the HTML file. So when the user is taking the action, we are asking to invoke the another method, that is the handle row action. So what I will do here is here I will go and put one method, that is the handle row action. Using this method, we will be identifying what action that user have taken. So here I can go and get the action details. Again, how to get the action details? You can again follow the documentation. You can see that these are the two ways to identify on which row the action has been taken and what action has been taken. So here again, I am saying that I can identify which action has been taken and on what particular row the action has been taken, right? So let me go and first get the action name. So to get the action name, here I will be using the let action name is equal to action dot name. This is the attribute that we have defined, name attribute. So you should use the exact same attributes with the exact same case here. Similarly, another thing that I will putting up here is let. I have to also get the account ID. So I am getting that account ID from the row. Now, based on the action, what we have to do, we have to go and perform the different operation. So again, you can use a similar kind of a logic. Here, there you can see they are using the switch statement to identify the action name, and based on that, they are performing the operation. So if you want, you can always use the similar kind of a logic here as well. You can see the code is something which is not fully written or might, okay, it is. I have scrolled to the left. So let me copy this switch block and I am putting that switch block here, right? So the first action name on based on which we have to go and execute the logic here is the create contact. So here I am checking for the create contact. Another action name based on which we have to go and execute the logic is the create case. So here I go and put the create case. right? Again, this logic we will go and write it down later, whatever we have to go and write. But let's first go and make the template ready. And the third case, this should be the create opportunity based on which we have to go and execute the logic. And in the case of default, I am putting the unhandled action. Now, this is the place where you will be putting up your logic so that you can go and create the. Moving to the next point. Now, the complexity something is which will begin. It's not complex, but you should know how to get that done. Now, what I will be doing here is I have to go and open up the modal whenever the user is clicking up on the action, right? So here I go and create another method, that is the open create modal, right? This is the action that I will be doing. Again, what I will do and how I will do, now pay attention on this. So to open up the modal, first I have to go and design the modal. So first let's go and design the modal. Once my modal is ready, then we go and understand how we can go and open up that modal here. Now, how to create the modal? In my previous videos, I have shown you how to use the SLDS. But in this video, I don't want to go with the SLDS option. I want to go here with one of the out of the box option available with the component library that is of the lightning modal. So here again, I am navigating to the lightning modal, and we will be using this lightning modal option to go and open up the modal. So very first thing that I will be doing here is I will be creating one component, create lightning web component, which is responsible for the create modal. So here I am putting the component name as the create modal component. Now, how to design this modal component? If you follow the documentation, what they are saying here is your component should have, or it should be extending the lightning modal. And here you should go and import the lightning modal as well. So this should be the first to import statement that your component should have. You should not be importing the lightning element or anything. It should be importing the API from the LWC, and also it should be importing the lightning modal. Next thing, it should go and extend the lightning modal as well instead of the lightning component, right? In case you have to go and build the modal, these are the few rules that you should go and follow. Now, the next thing here is what all the different things that you want to display in the modal. So in my modal, I want to go and design the reusable modal. So I want the two information should be available. The very first thing here is for which particular object type I want this modal should be available. So here I am putting the object type. It can either be the case, contact, or opportunity. Dynamically, we will be populating the value. Another thing that I want the modal should also be available for the @API, and here I can say that account ID, because whatever the records that we are creating, it should be linked with the account, right? So this is another thing that I am accepting. One more thing, again, in case you guys wants to pass or wants to generate dynamically, it's completely up to you. That is the header of the modal. Okay, so let me also go and populate the API header or title. Okay, these are the three things that I am accepting to go and display the modal. Now, what I want to do, whenever the user clicked on that button, I want to open up the modal, and in the modal, there should be an option to go and create the record. So to go and create the record, what I will be doing here is I will be taking the help of the lightning record form. So again, coming up here, adding a lightning card, putting the title is equal to whatever the header title that we are getting, right? As I said, we are accepting the title. So based on this title, I will be displaying the title for this, right? And here I will be putting up the div class SLDS where p around small. Let me add some padding here. And the next thing that I will be doing here, I will be creating the record using the lightning record form, right? So lightning record form, I want to use it for the creation purpose. So the different fields that you should be populating here for the creation, again, if you don't know, you can always go back to the documentation and check, but I already have the clue. So I'm directly typing up here. First, here is the object API name. Object API name is something, again, that I am getting from here based on which particular object type the record should be available. So that is not a problem. Second thing that I want to do here is I want to go and put the column structure as 2, right? What all fields should come up, right? So here I will be putting up the layout type, and here I am putting the layout type as the full, so it should show the full layout. Moreover, I want it should be available in the creation. For the creation, you should always go and set the mode here as the edit. Next thing here is on success. You can go and do this. On cancel, you can go and put the another thing, right? Similarly, in case you want to handle the error, you can also go and put the handle error. Right, based on the action that user is performing, you are handling the different stuff. One more thing, because on submitting the form, I want the record should be linked with the account. So here I will be using the on submit event as well and putting up here as the handle submit. So very simple. I'll be accepting the object type, right? I'll be accepting the title, and these are once the operation is successful or the operation is failed, accordingly I want to perform the different operations. So now let me go and put all these methods in my JavaScript file. So very first thing here is the handle success method. Next thing here is the handle cancel method. Next thing here is the handle error method. And finally, the handle submit method. These are the 4 methods which are available, or events which are available based on which I have to go and perform the operation. Let's go and first do about the submit. On submitting, what I have to do while submit, I have to link the record with the account. I already have the account ID. With that account, I have to go and link the record. So how you can do that? It's kind of a repeated step that we have done many times in the bootcamp as well. Very first thing, stop the form from submitting. How you can do that? By using the event dot prevent default. What this method will do, this method will stop the event from the submitting. Here I am accepting the event. This is the very first step. Second step, we have to go and get the fields. So how you can go and get the fields? So here you can go and say that const fields is equal to event dot detail dot fields. Right, and under the fields, I'll be populating one more field, that is the account ID, and here I'll be putting the this dot account ID. Whatever the account ID that I do have, I am linking that with the fields that I am submitting. And finally, what I am doing here is, here I will be submitting the form. So the third step here is submit the form. How to submit the form? It's very simple. What you have to do, you have to first go and get the form, this dot template dot query selector, right? I am accepting the form, lightning record form, calling the submit method, and then passing the fields that I do, so that my form will be submitted with the overridden value. First, stop the form. Second one, populate the field to which you want to link the record, and you can put any type of automations here before submitting the form, right? And finally, you can go and submit the form. Once the form has been submitted, there can be a possibility of either success or error. In the case of success, what I want to do here is I want to go and close the modal. How you can go and close the modal? You can see that you can use the method this dot close. So here I will be using the method to close the modal, and let me go and pass up here the text as success. Similarly, in the case of error, what I will be doing, I will be closing up the modal, and here I go and put again this dot close, and in the bracket I am putting the error, because in the case of error also I want to go and I will go and display the error message later, but at this moment I want to simply go and close the modal. The last thing here is in the case of cancel also I want to go and close the modal. So here I go and put this dot close, and here I am using the. This is how I am closing the modal. Very simple, no complex SLDS logic has been written. Simply following the documentation, putting my complete thing here that I want to display in the form of modal, and return and closing the modal once the operation has been done. Now, the next, let me go and deploy this component. Now, how you can go and invoke this component? That is a very important point that you should go and understand. So to invoke this component, again, if you follow the documentation, they have given the example. And this is what we call as a dynamic lightning web components as well, right? To invoke this component, what you have to use, you have to go and use the asynchronous method. So the method that we are defining in our account dashboard to go and create the modal, the very first thing that I need to make sure that the method should be asynchronous. Second thing here is, here I'll be using the const result is equal to. So again, navigating here, putting up the const result is equal to. After that, you have to use the await. Now, what is the component that you have defined to open up the modal? The component that we have created here is the create modal. So here I am putting the create modal, and the method that I am calling up here is the open method. But one thing that I missed to highlight to you folks, very first thing what you have to do is you have to also go and import your component as well. So let me go and first do this step, then it will be more logical. Import my create modal from, and from where I will be importing this component, C is the default namespace followed by the C/create modal. So here I am importing my modal, and once the modal has been imported, right? Once the modal has been imported, then I can go and call this method create modal here with the open function. And while opening, you can see I am passing the different attributes here, whatever needs to be passed. So here I am passing few of the attributes that my method should be accepting. The very first thing that I am passing up here is the record type, right? So, or the object type, not the record type, but the object type. So let's say what I am saying here is, whenever we are invoking this method, we are getting the few information. We are getting the object type, we are getting the title, and finally, these are the two which are more than enough. And finally, let's say the account ID also we are getting here, right? These are the three information that we are getting whenever the record has been. Now, coming back here one more time. So what I am saying here is, whenever you are invoking this, I am passing the object type, title, and the account ID. These are the public properties that we have defined here. Object type is the public property that we have defined, so I am passing the value. Title is another public property that we have defined, for which I am passing the value, and account ID is another public property that I have defined, for which I am passing the value. Right? So I hope we are good till now. Now, once we have executed the method, and now once the modal has been closed, there can be a either a success operation or there can be a error. So how you can check? So again, if I put result is equal to, what I am doing here is, whenever I am closing the modal, I am passing this value, right? So here I will go and check if the result is success, right? Similarly, here I can go and check else if result is equal to error, right? These are the two things that I am checking, whether it is successful or it is error. In the case of success or in the case of error, I want to go and display the toast message. So again, navigating here, looking for the toast message, sorry, platform show toast. So let me first go and import the show toast event here again. Right, and what I will do, I will simply go and copy this method and putting up here so that we can go and invoke this method. Right, so this method is accepting the title and the message followed by the variant. Right, these are the three things that my method is accepting. Right, and pass this value title. It's kind of a repeated logic that we have done multiple times, and putting the message. But to make a complete solution, it's always a good thing to go and add this kind of a notification. Right, so what I will do, I will simply go and display the toast message. So here I'll be putting this dot toast or this dot show toast, where I am saying that title here is equal to success, record created successfully, and followed by the success event. In the case of error, I am displaying the error message. Right, and here I go and say that record creation has been failed and displaying the error message as well. So this part is also good. Now, this is the method that we have to invoke in the case of operation. So what I will be doing here is I will be calling this method and passing the attribute. So this dot open create modal contact title I am passing here as the create contact and account ID as well that I am passing up here. Right. Next thing for the create case. Case is the object that I am passing. This is the title and followed by the account ID. And last one for the opportunity, here I will be calling the similar method, passing the opportunity title as the create opportunity and linking this with the account ID. Right? I hope we are good till now. Let me have a quick check. So what all things that we have done? We have handled the action based on the user invocation. Right? We are getting the account ID. We are checking for the action name. Based on the names that we have provided here, accordingly, we are getting the action names and we are calling the one common method that we have written to go and create the record. So here I am passing the objects to go and create the record. To create the record, I am using the lightning modal. This is the component that we have already created, which is responsible to go and create the record and also linking it with the account. Based on the operations, we are displaying the toast message. So this part is also good. Now, coming to the third statement, what we have to do here is we have to always make sure that my table is displaying most up-to-date information. That means as soon as the record has been created, we have to go and refresh the table as well. So how you go and refresh the table? To refresh the table, what you have to do here is you have to go and use the refresh apex, right? Because you have to again invoke the apex to ask to get the latest record. Let me check if here we do have the refresh apex. It's very simple to use. I have already covered this multiple times in the past videos, but let me check if here, no, right? Let me go on to the Google and look for the refresh apex. It's a method where it's an approach where you are asking your component to invoke it one more time to get the updated record. So refresh the cache when using the wire. What all the things that you have to do? You have to go and first import the refresh apex in your code. So let's navigate here, import the refresh apex, and finally I will be calling this method refresh apex method so that the table will also be refreshed. Okay, so navigating here, if the operation is successful, I'll be invoking this method. This is again a promise. So here again I am going for the await and calling the refresh apex. Now while refreshing the apex, what you have to pass, the parameter that you have to pass is the output of your wire decorator, because you have to ask the lightning web component to invoke this wire decorator. So how you can pass that message? By passing the output of the wire decorator. So this is the output. So here I go and pass that output of the wire decorator so that the component will understand that they have to go and invoke the apex to get the updated data, right? And this also looks good, right? I hope we have imported everything that is required for the component. Let me go and deploy this and we will test it out. Somehow something is wrong. Okay. Let me go and try to deploy the complete component to the org. Yeah, this time it has been deployed successfully. Let's navigate, refresh, clear the cache, refreshing the page, and we'll test it out. So my table is loading, right? If you guys can see, it is showing all the three actions: create, contact, case, as well as the opportunity. So this part is also coming up good. So here I go and take the option of the create contact. Okay. One thing that I am thinking here is that we are struggling is it is going way out of the screen. So how you can handle that? There are two ways. Either you can go for the compact layout, or let me check if the modal is giving me any option to define the size of the modal. So navigating here, yeah, modal is giving me an option to define the size, and the access here is global. So what I can do, I can pass one more property here while invoking the modal, and that is I am putting up here is the size. Let me check what is the default value of the size. Okay, default value is medium. Here I am passing the value as small. Okay. And adding a comma. Let me go and deploy this one more time so that the modal size can be controlled. Navigating here, canceling this, pushing the page. Here, let me go and make the size as the 100%. And now here, if I go and try to create the contact, okay, still it is going a scroll out. Okay, so that's kind of a limitation, I believe, that we have to go with if we are using the create modal. The control is not with us. But again, as I said, what you can do, you can always decide what all fields that you want to display. You can pass that from the parent and make that decision. But again, I hope this is okay for now. I hope you folks got the understanding. Only thing is, it is going a bit wider at this moment. But I hope this is good. Let's go and do the further testing. So here I am creating the Mr. Jen, right? A contact along with the email. Jen@techjourney.com. Clicking on save, we can see the record is created and also the count is updated as well. Right? That means the logic is working as expected. I hope you folks got the understanding how you can dynamically load the component with the help of Lightning Web Component. This is something that community was expecting from a very longer time. It was available last year only, but I didn't got a chance to work on a video on this. That's why I thought this is going to be a good example to go and put across the scenario so that you should understand how to dynamically create the component and put it on the UI. As I said, whatever the code that we have built in today's session, it will be available on the top menu. You just have to go and purchase this interview prep guide where the cost is bare minimum. But the value that I am promising, you will get a lot. You will get more than 350 plus questions from the different modules along with the code bases as well. For the time being, thank you. Have a good time.